everyone, my name is Winifred and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much, our new subscribers. I noticed there was a spike in our subscriber numbers when I uploaded the last video. So based on the last video and how well it did and the feedback that I got and the messages, I decided to put together this video that is also about starting up an online brand, online business. So yeah, I had a live session, Instagram live session with a women empowerment platform on Instagram called Womenpreneur. You should check them out. It's basically bringing together women that are starting their business or already have their businesses and inspiring them. So in this video, I'll be talking about 7 things you can do that won't cost you much to build your brand. I am not a brand guru, okay? I am just sharing my journey with you. I'm sharing my mistakes so you don't make them, and also sharing my wins so you follow in my footsteps. And in branding, always keep in mind that you're not just branding your business to make it look good for you or to make you feel good about yourself. I mean, it will, but the end game is for it to translate into sales. Okay, would you rather have a strong brand that looks beautiful, that has all the good things said about it, that doesn't result in sales, or you rather want to have a good strong brand that is also making you money? Because I believe apart from having a passion for what you do and enjoying what you do, the end game is also to make profits. Branding, in my own words, means that having a unique name, having an image, and most importantly, number 1 meaning of branding is how people perceive you. Okay, so what's the perception you like to create in your customer or your consumer or your client's mind? Okay, that's basically what branding means to me. And whenever I meet with branding gurus, read about branding and whatnot, this exercise comes up where you are asked, when you think of Apple, what comes to mind? And to me, when I think of Apple, I think of innovative, I think of elite, and I think of expensive, because it's expensive. So when you think of Apple, that's what they want you to think about. So the things that pop up in your head or the perceptions you have about a company is what their brand is. So in simple terms, I hope you understood that. If you're a startup, the first thing, number 1 thing you want to do is, how do you want them to perceive you? So the perception, what are you about? What value do you bring to the customer or the consumer? What is your brand story? A brand story is basically feelings and facts about your brand that are true, okay, that your customers can relate with or your consumers can relate with. You have to figure all those things out. What are you about? You don't just get up, which most of us do. Just get up, someone is doing something and you also start. You can start, but what is the aim? Okay, if you are trying to build a long-lasting brand, what are you about? Number 2 is your product. You have a budget or a small budget and you can't afford packaging bags, you can't afford fancy packaging and all that stuff. I would advise you to invest in your product, make it better, make it stand out, make the product market itself for you. You want your product to get to your customer and they'll recommend it to someone else. So invest in making your product one of the best. Number 3 is customer service. You can't play with your customer service if you are trying to build a brand, a good brand for yourself. So try to respond to messages, be polite. And I was telling my friend the last time on the live session that some people manage to be rude or not too nice and they still have a solid brand. And that, I think, brings us back to the first point, that what do you want to be perceived as? So if you're a negative person and that's your brand and that's what you want to be about, do that and do it well. You might have some sort of resistance. I don't agree with this point myself, but if I'm being real and you look out there, you find out some brands are doing so well and they're not necessarily polite, or let's say personal brands. There are some people that are very controversial, but they have really strong brands and people want to work with them. So I think you should just figure out what you are about. That's for personal branding. And with the business, I'll always advise that you are polite, you respond to messages. If life happens, you can make mistakes, things can go wrong. Try to own up to your mistakes, apologize, because you are trying to get repeat customers, and those customers are the ones that grow the business. You want them to come back to purchase from you over and over again. So try to be on point. Consistency, again, in everything. That word keeps popping up. It's so important to be consistent when building a brand. I always say that I don't personally believe consistency is showing up every day and every second, because there are other things to life. So figure out your schedule, and if you tell us you're going to show up. Life happens. If you can't show up, try and find a way around it, so your customers don't feel like you don't really care about your business or it's a joke. Okay, it's very important to be consistent when you are trying to build a brand. I have made this mistake where you feel like probably it's not working, you can't go on, so you take a break for a while, a month, 2 months, 3 months. The world is not waiting for you. Probably you need a breather, fine. But try and have a system in place that would help you be consistent, okay? Number 5 is, if you are selling a product online and you're marketing a product to your customers, you want to make sure that your product is very clear. I can't come on your page and your product is blurry, I don't really know what it's about. Try and, I said this in even my last video on the apps you can use to help you achieve this, okay? And try and go online and see how you can learn these editing tips, because they help. But there are some people that are also killing it with just reviews, okay? They only post customer reviews and they are still making their sales, because that's the end game, building a solid brand that would make you sales. So try and figure out what will work for you, but make sure that your product photos are very clear. It doesn't have to be fancy or overly done, but I want to see what I'm trying to buy. Number 6 point is updates. So updates in the sense that if you're on a platform, I'm on YouTube or I'm on Instagram, I should know about their updates. I should know about certain things they put in place to make the app better, especially if you're using it for business. It's my mistake that I made. So I started using Instagram for business a really long time ago, when it wasn't even a thing. And there were updates where you change your profile to the business profile. They rolled out paid ads and all those things, and I just had this mindset about it, so I wasn't really concerned. And those things help because it's a competitive space. Please do your ads, okay? Pay for ads, have a budget for ads, because it helps. It's a competitive space. There are so many people on there and you're trying to build and grow your business. So it's important that you do your ads, you keep up with updates, and see how best the app can help you in your business, okay? Because we are a lot and you want to be seen, you want to make sales, okay? Keep up with what goes on on the app. And the final tip is, it's actually 3 things in one: customer retention, collaborating, and forming genuine relationships. Okay, so number 1, customer retention is one free thing that you can do to help you build your brand. How do you retain customers? You can find a polite way of taking their emails. There's an app called MailChimp, so you can send them emails when it's their birthdays, when it's a holiday, or probably a hair product. You can give them tips about hair care through these emails. Okay, that makes you build a relationship with your customers, and hopefully it will result in them coming back to you and then being on their minds. Okay, and also collaboration. Try and collaborate with other brands, collaborate with influencers. Maybe you can't afford the influencer you want to work with now. That's okay. Hopefully you'll be able to afford them. But if you have a friend that is an influencer, I wouldn't advise that you just go to them and expect them or demand that they advertise your things for you. I don't think it's the right way to go. Try and form meaningful, genuine relationships. Okay, if it's your friend or you just know the person, try and form a good relationship with the person. Do you care about them? Do you buy their products as well? Do you genuinely support what they do? Okay, because we are all human beings, and if you are a startup and you can't afford certain influencers but you have access to certain people, try and be genuine and understand their terms, and let your relationship be so good that they'll be willing to help you. Okay, and also try and see how you can also help them out in any way that you can. So these are the 7 tips that I put together, and I think that it can help you when you're trying to build a brand from scratch, ground up, Charlie. So yeah, and with everything, just believe in what you're doing. Believe in your brand. It's very important. You can't really push something that you don't believe in. We'll see through it. So believe in your brand and work hard, and hopefully the hard work will translate into sales. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. And if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, below, subscribe. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting. Make sure you share this video with a friend that is trying to start a business, or is already has a business, and you know that they need these few tips. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and see you another time. Bye.